I think all the guys in the street who think they're real hot shoes, if they went out on the track, they'd find that this is where the men and the boys get separated, because it's really tough. No one's telling you to slow down, they're just telling you to go faster.
We just are very much a home family. I wouldn't do it if I were going to be hurt because of the kids. I've got a family, I've got responsibility.
Racing, I think, has allowed me to accept defeat. In art, if you want to do good art, I think it's dangerous art. Safety, though, brings shallow rewards, I think, in both art and racing.
One of the aspects I like to characterize about rallying is that the real race is against yourself. It's a radical change from real life, let us say, a day-to-day, 9-to-5 type of thing.
Christopher Cross's laid-back musical style has earned him an Oscar, 5 Grammys, and over 50 gold records. But now, at age 36, he's discovered a new, more aggressive passion, racing 150-mile-per-hour Volkswagen Super Vs.
Racing is a very aggressive sport, and my music is kind of mellow, because I'm really not a very competitive or aggressive guy, but I'm becoming that way with the racing. Like I said, you begin to have to keep your foot to the floor, and you begin to have to get a little gutsier, a little more aggressive, and a little meaner out there.
While the experience of driving an open-wheel race car at the limit may be turning his music more aggressive, the rewards are different.
The satisfaction of playing to an audience with music you've created, it's more of a soul satisfaction, I'd say. Whereas racing is just, it's more of a raw thrill. It's just a real kick, it's just exciting. I'd say I'm more nervous getting ready to play in front of 20,000 people at a concert than I am racing, as far as having a lump in my throat. I think the initial attraction to racing was the whole sort of Grand Prix circus atmosphere. You know, it's just like a big nouveau circus, all the people and the high-tech cars, and it's a wonderful place just to be, and the people in racing are great. The drivers that I know who are really world-class, like the Tom Bays and the Sullivans of the world, to me, they're like the Beatles. I mean, I used to look up to John and Paul and the Beach Boys and people like that as my heroes and inspirations. And in driving now, you watch these guys like Sullivan handle an IndyCar, and it seems pretty easy for them, and they make it look so easy. Boy, GDA is so fast. One time he came by me, and I saw him back there, and coming up the hill after 4, and he was pretty far back there, and I said, well, I'm sure I have 9 who get me or something, or later on. And 8, he was already there. In the beginning, I really rationalized it. Well, I'm new at this, I'm new at this, and I shouldn't be that great, and I'm an older guy. But then little things creep into the conversation, like Paul Newman, who's older too, and is real competitive. But it's a real humbling sport. I think all the guys in the street who think they're real hot shoes, if they went out on the track, they'd find that this is where the men and the boys get separated, because it's really tough. No one's telling you to slow down, they're just telling you to go faster. And it's hard.
Indianapolis, Indiana, the Budweiser Rolls RT5. Number 22, you may have heard this guy's music, Christopher Cross, in the Volkswagen Rolls RT5.
The twisty 1.9-mile Laguna Seca Raceway. Christopher starts midway in a field of 35 Robert Bosch Volkswagen Super Vs.
It was a real adjustment to Super V coming from Fords from school, because they go a lot faster in the ground effects, and trying to convince yourself that the car can make it through there. I mean, people tell you can go through there flat, but when you arrive at the corner, your foot tends to come off. You got to put the left foot on top of the right foot and hold it down. The music business has been exciting for me. When I was struggling to make it, it was exciting. And then, of course, finally making it in music was really exciting. And I think it's hard to find things now that are exciting. And that's what racing is. I mean, the thrill of driving one of these cars is so great that it's the biggest kick I've ever had. It's kind of exciting at the same time to be able to start over and sort of maybe get some of the same passion that I had when I was first starting out in music, hoping to become successful in that. I'm getting to rekindle some of that kind of passion in racing. Maybe I'll start sounding like Van Halen.
Sheila and Bob Bushy aren't your average racing teammates. They live in a log cabin in Vermont with their 2 children, dog and cat. She's a nurse. He's a contractor. But on the weekends, they put it all on the line, driving wheel to wheel against each other in one of the most competitive racing series in America.
See, we have the day off from school, I guess.
Friday.
No, you have today off too for a snow day, so the snow could be shoveled. We clean the sidewalk, the walk out.
The sidewalk.
Okay, city talk.
The path.
The path. Well, we'll let you 2 work at it for a while.
No,
Won't be hard.
it'd be nice to get the car out of the garage
Yeah,
and either throw it away
yeah.
or fix it. Robert was going to go on and do more
Wheel to wheel racing.
wheel to wheel, and I was going to be mom because I had the 2 kids, and just to do that. So now I'm doing it with him.
And we were up at in New Hampshire, our first time out, and we were running fairly even times, and then Sheila put in this fast lap, about 5 seconds faster than we were doing on any other lap, and they thought that was quite a joke, all my friends did.
Nobody
My
would tell him.
wife was gonna blow my doors off. Mid-Ohio, Sheila's much faster than I am. And St. Louis, she's faster than I am. And then Lime Rock, and I might be able to think of another one. I'm much faster than she is. It's I don't know why.
Let's see, we have only had really one long ride home, and that was from St. Louis.
I had the impression she was blocking me.
That didn't go over
And
too well.
then she took a corner wide, and I says, here's my chance, and I went through, and she cut me off, and I smashed both cars. You can work together out there, and it is fun when you can help the other one get ahead when you know they're going to run away anyway.
I think we're closer than a lot of the people that I know today, the married couples with the families. I think we are a closer unit. We just are very much a home family. Most every evening during the winter, he's out in the garage, which we heat with the wood. Keeps him going. The guys don't really expect me to do too much because I don't know what a fender and a bumper is. I have no knowledge, because then I don't...
Drive and drive is what she does.
I'm gonna arrive and drive. I'm mom. I just have to do the mom things. Supply the muffins and the food and take care of the kids and the meals. That's about it for my part.
And drive fast.
And drive fast.
Sheila and Bob start the final race of the Volkswagen Golf Cup season just a few points apart in the series standings. In the opening laps, Sheila jumps into 9th place with Bob just a few car lengths behind. Sheila charges up to 8th while Bob plays a waiting game.
We approach things differently. We approach the corners differently, and our follow-up is different. We have to work very hard to drive together.
I don't think it takes away from the relationship of racing at all.
No.
Even being competitors.
The halfway point, Sheila has picked up another position and is closing in on the leaders. She's up to 7th. She turns her fastest lap of the race.
If I get nervous and they wave very frantically, they'll wave the flag, and you know something's really happened, so you come flying around the corner. There's my wife on the roof. I says, oh, should I stop or should I go?
Looks to be okay at this point.
They're taking her to the hospital for x-rays on the neck. They think it's okay, but they want to make sure.
My first thought was to get out of the car because I knew he was behind me, and I wanted to wave him on so he wouldn't be panicked, you know, seeing me upside down, and that's what I did.
I know, that's true. That's because you know. I'll have to. I've never known this part. Thank you. You and I travel together. All right.
Okay, relax. The corner workers all had their thumbs up, and I spotted Sheila waving to me, you know. So I said, well, I'll keep going, I guess. It makes you wonder what to do when you come down on something like that.
I really wasn't hurt from the accident at all. I think my pride was hurt most. I was doing so well, and I wouldn't do it if I were going to be hurt because of the kids. I've got a family, I've got responsibility. I'm mom. I just have to do the mom things.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Driving flat out through North America's outback is how Canadian business executive Walter Boyce gets away from it all, competing not against other cars, but against the clock in his run for the Pro Rally Championship.
One of the aspects I like to characterize about rallying is that the real race is against yourself. It's a radical change from real life, let us say, day-to-day, 9 to 5 type of thing. And I enjoy the getting away and the traveling in various parts of the country that are so beautiful, each in their own way. You know on any particular day on a racetrack what fast is and whether you're going to be able to run for the money or not. In rallying, fast is relative on any particular road, so you have to push as hard as you can.
If driving full speed down blind forest roads seems like a scary way to spend a weekend, consider the poor co-driver who must ride alongside strapped in the passenger seat.
Co-driver shouldn't be scared. I think the driver perhaps, if you come on surprise things, gets scared more instantaneously, and of course the threat passes very quickly, and the co-driver may not even have known there was a moment.
I'm sure we get scared at times. It's a running battle between drivers and co-drivers. Who's crazier? If I see something that I think maybe Walter hasn't seen, I'll tell him about it. And sometimes you don't say something, and it seems that many of the incidents that happen on the co-driver's side, perhaps because the driver can't see that side of the car as well. That when you roll, you tend to go over on that side. What are you going to do this weekend, Jim? Well, I'm going to drive all night so we can get someplace where we can drive all night, have fun, party, and then drive all night to get home.
Night. Boyce, Brandt, and the GTI continue their grueling run through the back roads. The co-driver's route instructions holding the only clue as to which way the road turns.
During the stages, the co-driver has to read the route instructions should there be any road junctions or hazards, following the route throughout the countryside and timing you in to the start controls and the main time controls perfectly during the event. I don't trust myself 100% to read the road, but of course, whatever you see out there is information to you, however subtly. Whatever way the tree line goes, perhaps you're on one crest and your lights catch a glimpse of the road over the next crest. So you press on over that next crest, even though as you approach it, you don't see it. You take all these inputs and you trust none of them. And the idea is to press into each corner as deeply and as quickly as you can, based on what you can see.
In a rally, you keep on going no matter what the problem.
Yeah, a flat tire cost us right at the beginning of a 17-mile stage. We tried to run out a little bit, but decided in the interest of preserving the transmission and the fact that it's a long rally, we changed it. We just ran a 10-mile stage where Clive Smith, Chad DeMarco, and ourselves were all within 1/100th of a minute of each other over that distance. That just means that we're all trying like hell.
The final day, the stretch run. Nearly half the competitors have dropped by the wayside, but the veteran Boyce is still going strong.
You don't get any worse at it, I guess, with experience. The judgment that is involved in running blind roads at speed can only be honed with more and more experience and practice.
In 1986, Walter Boyce, co-driver Jim Brandt, and their VW GTI covered over 3,000 miles of the most treacherous roads in North America on the way to winning the SCCA Pro Rally Group A Championship.
My wife says I'm much easier to live with after I come back from a long rally. I tend to be very calm, very fulfilled, let us say, or something. It does something for me. There's no doubt about that, and perhaps that's part of why I keep coming back.
what are you saying within the limits in which you're working? This is right, take it or leave it. It could be a gymnast doing a routine for the 1000th time, yet it's crisp and fresh and beautiful.
For Professor Peter Schwartzop, taking risks is the essence of his avocation, race car driving, as well as his profession, teaching art.
As far as you can without losing it. So the danger there, you've accepted the willingness to fail, which is part of the idea of growth. But you're not failing, which is wonderful. So making things that don't work, accidents, allowing for the accident, accepting it as part of the process, the risk, we're liable to come up with something that truly breaks with current acceptable trends. That's where good art comes from. I think both activities are misunderstood by most people because clearly most people don't have the opportunity to get involved with either racing or producing art. But I think the idea of risk is certainly a part of motorsport, but not so much physical risk as other risks. In the art process, you're also dealing with risks in terms of limit. How far can you go without losing the audience? And it's easy to do safe art. You follow the formula and you follow trends and things like that. Safety, though, brings shallow rewards, I think, in both art and racing. In art, if you want to do good art, I think it's dangerous art because the difference between good and ordinary is just that idea of taking risks.
The 24-hour endurance race at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Schwartzop is faced with a new challenge.
I enjoy the rain, and people wonder about my sanity sometimes. I look at it as one more limit that I have to face. Racing, I think, has allowed me to accept defeat. It's allowed me to accept the fact that masses of people aren't going to enjoy my art. I knew I wanted to be a race driver, more so than being an artist. I hated school, and the last thing I thought I'd be interested in doing was being a teacher. So I became a teacher because of the vacations involved. I love the vacations. I do best at vacations.
Night. Schwartzop and his showroom stock 16-valve Scirocco have moved into the class lead.
When first driving at night, it was the most horrifying experience that I've ever faced in my entire life. Not knowing how many cars were approaching you from the rear, the lights bouncing all over the place, shadows, reflections. A more sensual experience happens during the night, where you tend to be looser and more spontaneous.
Dawn. 1,000 miles completed. 16 hours down, 8 more to go. The combination of fast driving, quick pit work, and the Scirocco's reliability has moved Schwartzop and the Scirocco team into a nearly invincible 3-lap lead.
You eat and sleep and are involved totally in this process. And then it ends. It ends absolutely suddenly. It's like amputation. The win, I think, in a race is the frosting on the cake. It's the end result of a process that really makes the sport what I feel is a very beautiful kind of experience. I'm just trying to be a good racetrack. And in the process, if I'm lucky, I'll achieve a degree of fame.